about like the requirement or thing to do to meet a requirement to get somewhere. If the somewhere is the optimal, I don't want to say state of being, but optimal ability to live a human experience where all variations of it are within one's grasp, within one's natural reach, not reach or grasp, within their sphere of potential.
Yeah.
And it's like completely accessible and available to them. To get to that point where you're like, I guess the really simple way of putting that whole pile is just, you're as good as a human can be. So to get it as good as a human can be, being capable of all that, meaning complete shifts of perception and altering body and mind at will, and perfect balance and harmony and clarity, meaning you have freedom to do anything without bounds, and you're able to put limitations on yourself to do anything that you would want to do, to dive into things deeply and pop back out, taking the lessons and catalyst of that experience into like your higher self, you could say, or like the pivoting central point to be better from that, and then go into another one and come back and keep doing that. Like, to live that way, the requirements are like perfect clarity of where one is, because you can't move if you don't know where you are, like, and perfect balance of that. And what that opens up to, like as the actual requirements, is that the limitations fall away of what, not just what one had awareness of or has awareness of, but the awareness also on all the layers of it, of there is stuff that when I am fully aware, I am not going to be able to understand it. That makes sense. Like to have perfect awareness means to also to be in a state where awareness is fully there, and there's not a single thing in that massive sphere where you know what it is, really.
Like it becomes natural?
Yeah, like it becomes...
And obvious?
It becomes a natural part of being fully aware, is that all of the things that you don't know appear, and there's no need to know what it is.
Right.
Like, if I was perfectly aware, I could look at somebody playing a trombone, or shooting, or like throwing doing a American football type of drill or something, like, and I don't need to know what that is, but at full awareness of like everything that's taking place with that, like how the person is moving their fingers on a trombone, and like the fact that they might be breathing a certain way and things like that, like the awareness is there of that without knowing what exactly is going on. And to be in perfect awareness means you have full awareness of everything going on without knowing what's going on.
Mm.
And then that allows one to be able to see all the things that are completely outside of one's natural perception, or like one's prior perception of the world, which would include things like what children see about imaginary friends, or these unbiased, open interpretations of the world, and how a dog might be looking at the world, and what else might be in this field and range of perception that nobody else is picking up on, whether it's like the energy coming off of trees to the natural, like ethereal elephants or something, and like the way bugs are navigating and flying around something, like just all of the little stuff that is like not in our frame of perception. We have awareness of it. We don't know at all what it is, but that's the only way we can see it, is with like perfect awareness.
Reminds me of an Austin Powers quote. There you are. Do I know you? No, but that's where you are. You're there.
Yeah. It's basically that. Like, you basically evolve into Austin Powers, where you can see everything, and you're just like, there you are, and you don't know who it is.
But that's where they are.
That's where they are. Yeah. So that's the requirement, and the result is you end up seeing all the things that people, if you were to ask them, they would say it's like magical, fantastical. Spirits, aliens, angels, fairies, ghosts, energy, out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, past lives, dreams, all that stuff is just people accidentally or purposely or whatever meeting the requirements of being able to see something without knowing what it is, because all those walls that are like popping up and down in their limitations and in their barriers of like attachments and biases and all that, of like alligator with a leash, that doesn't make sense because of these shapes that I have in my consciousness. A dog with things makes sense because of these shapes I have in my consciousness. All those like arrange themselves in a certain way that through the cracks of all the like maze, there's like a thin thread that gets light, like a slight sliver sneaking through all the things at something so far away and so distant. It's like, wait, what was that? And for a moment, they glimpse at something, whether it's a dream or a psychedelic drug, just like opens that little gap, or any kind of like an epiphany of a loved one dying and they're at a funeral and they have that little thing, just like that gap opens and like, and then they get a glimpse at something so distant out of their natural way of being that they're like, that's possible. And then it closes up again and the biases and the walls continue, and they might not get a glimpse of that again for so long because all those walls are making mazes around them all the time. But they got a glimpse at something distant. And to do that intentionally